So my name is Raul. I started out as a cloud solutions architect. Before I became a cloud solutions architect, I used to work as a network and security pre-sales engineer way back in 1999 in the Philippines. And I moved to Singapore in 2004, working in various big enterprises. At the same time working in a telco environment and also cloud providers. And prior to joining VMware, I worked in Singapore Press Holdings, where it's the #1 media company in Singapore that published the newspaper Straits Times. And I was the first infrastructure and cloud architect in SPH. And a lot of the work that I've done there in SPH is really setting up standardization and governance in terms of architecture, setting up hybrid cloud architecture for SPH so that they can adopt a multi-cloud strategy. So with that, actually would like to share with everybody my experiences with multi-cloud and how to accelerate your digital business in this multi-cloud world. So today, I'm going to talk about just close to 5 topics that is close to my heart. I'm going to talk about the current state of digital initiatives in the Philippines and what is multi-cloud and how it empowers digital initiatives and what are the challenges in adopting a multi-cloud architecture and how do we address these challenges in a multi-cloud world. And what are the cultural approach that we as an organization must embark on so that we can propel our business for what's next for our business moving forward. In this IDC report, by 2023, half of the enterprise applications will be deployed in a containerized hybrid cloud and multi-cloud environments. What does it mean? This IDC report highlights how policy-driven multi-cluster configuration and lifecycle management automation technologies are emerging to better standardize, secure, and control critical containers infrastructure across multi-cloud environments. According to a VMware Digital Frontier study, 77% of Filipino consumers surveyed have defined themselves as digitally curious or digital explorers. Forward-looking organizations in the Philippines need to transform their business models. So this can be done by first integrating next-generation technologies such as cloud. Second is app modernization. And third is delivering customer-led innovations and experiences that are seamless, personalized, and secure. This signals a positive step towards a digital Philippines as more citizens are integrating technologies into their everyday lives. As the Philippines adjusts to the challenges of COVID-19, the nation is embracing in a digital transformation with speed and scale. This shift in mindset places the CIO at the center of national change, where businesses are reassessing technology priorities, operational processes, and business model frameworks. While digital transformation has always been on the agenda of the Filipino government and businesses, the pandemic has greatly accelerated the pace of this transformation across industries. So what does it mean? Number one, making it easier for your consumer to engage and transact where, when, and how on their own, making their experience self-service. Number two, enhancing the security of digital transactions. Number three, transforming traditional places of work and learning into hybrid environments that boost customers' experience. Number four, delivering online services that keep citizens informed and businesses productive, especially during these times. And most importantly, number five, removing decades-long barriers to give people digital options to take better care of themselves and their families. Multi-cloud is powering measurable business outcomes. With the study that VMware has conducted, we realized that 35% in organization that embrace a multi-cloud strategy, they see the revenue increase by 35%. And they see that they can innovate faster even at the edge, and they see that 41% fewer costs and are spent on spending managing IT infrastructure. So what does it mean for them? This by embracing a multi-cloud strategy, there's a 35% productivity savings across a distributed workforce. But you realize for every transformation, it hasn't been easy. Transformation in general is never easy, and cloud transformation is no different. Organizations are also grappling with a variety of challenges, such as first, outdated infrastructure. So with an outdated infrastructure, you have a risk related to security, data, and privacy issues. Monolithic applications. With monolithic applications, you have inconsistent infrastructure constructs, such as application programming interface, databases, network, and security. And you have internal skills gap that translates into a diverse cloud operating models. And what does this mean? You have a complexity and environment, difficult for you to manage all these different environments. And lastly, it hinders you from the ability to optimize your operations. So all these all translate to increased requirements on a scarce resource. If you think that way, the conventional wisdom on multi-cloud today is an either-or proposition. Most organizations today are actually faced with an either-or approach. You either have to make some very tough choices that often leads to compromises, and there's an assumption that you can have both. Either you give your workforce fast access to the apps they need, or you prioritize a rock-solid security to protect all your critical apps and data. Again, conventional wisdom says you can have both, right? Or has been the norm in the business for a long time. But digital business is different. It can't be either or. So what does it mean? Today, I would like to share with you good news. Instead of an either or approach, why don't we replace the limitations of or with the opportunities of and? I believe every business should have freedom and control in their multi-cloud business. That is why focusing your innovation engine on delivering the power of and in each of these three areas, for example, developer autonomy, enterprise apps on any cloud, anywhere access for employees for their applications, is crucial for every businesses of today. So over the years, working as an infrastructure and cloud architect in various enterprise and vendors for 21 years, I have consolidated actionable items into 6 key steps. First, you start with identifying what are the business drivers that you have to address, and is your company cloud ready in terms of your operational skill set? Do you have a multi-cloud enabling capabilities as an organization? And fourth is, what are the management platform or architecture decisions that have you decided as an organization? So these steps have been simplified and represented listed everything that's needed to develop a successful multi-cloud strategy so that you can organize your roadmap for success. All right, let me pause here for a while, and I want everyone to read this statement. This line speaks volumes for me. If you know Peter Drucker, he was an Austrian-born American management consultant, educator, and author whose writings contributed to the philosophical and practical foundations of modern business corporation, and emphasized that the best strategy in the world will struggle without a commensurate change in culture. Essentially, if the people are not on board and the processes are not adjusted, your multi-cloud strategy will fail. So my suggestion is start with a foundation. Multi-cloud autonomy for your developers that starts with a tightly integrated with consistent automated operations for your DevSecOps. Second is the smartest path to the cloud, to the edge, into the modernizing your entire app portfolio. Third, and finally, give your distributed workforce the secure, frictionless experience they need to remain productive and engage from any location. Technology, as you know, is just one part of the equation. People, process will play an equally important role in helping you integrate and operationalize any new technology. So this is where organizing for the multi-cloud is really important. So if you look at the slides here, look at it from the three angles. First, new skills. Second, new roles. Third, new processes and policies. All are needed to make the technology work and to build the multi-cloud capabilities that the organization needs for the future. There are a plethora of open source projects that will help you bundle the perfect solution for your environment. So a lot of organizations are actually moving to containerize their application, and they're aligning it with open source technologies so that they can capture the innovation and freedom of the community. And what is important is to run this consistently across clouds, realize the potential of Kubernetes as an abstraction layer to manage all the containerized application, and enable your developers to have a self-service architecture and set clear guidelines and policies so that you can give your developers freedom. So what are the core tenets of that platform? It starts with having a standardized multi-cloud platform with a Kubernetes operations. So what are the core tenets? First, create an infrastructure strategy with a consistent Kubernetes runtime for cluster provisioning and lifecycle management. I really believe that something as routine as upgrading a cluster should not result in 10 different ways to do this for every cloud. You do not want to make this, you want this to make a standard, right? You do want to have a different set of standards for every cloud. Second, and the most important one is design a multi-cloud Kubernetes management plane that when you're standing up a Kubernetes platform, that will eventually need to work across multiple clouds and will serve multiple teams. So that is the most important one. So that the one below here in the slide, you will see a horizontal green column is you can do app replatforming and skill building consistent across the whole structure. So these are many businesses outcomes that you're working hard towards: grow your customer base, improve the customer experience, reduce your annual operational expense, standardize your architecture, automate routine processes, secure device apps and clouds. Um, as I'm nearing to the end of my presentation, I would like to share that find that solutions that enable you to realize what's possible, both today and for your lasting digital transformation. And with business applications evolving so quickly and being so dispersed, it takes a different approach to meet objectives you have set for your business. So how to get there? Leverage on experts who can help you achieve measurable outcomes and speed time to value. Use outcome-focused approach, unique tools, leveraging on existing expertise, and repeatable, consistent delivery methodology. I keep repeating on repeatable, consistent, and repeatable delivery methodology, because with consistency, you're able to achieve operational excellence. And by creating strategy, roadmaps, and architectures, design, implement, and integrate solution, you can operationalize it and put solutions into production. So in conclusion, look for a vendor that offers services across 5 key areas in app modernization, multi-cloud, virtual cloud networking, anywhere workspace, and a vendor that can offer you intrinsic security. Invest in a multi-cloud service strategy that will help you plan, build, run, and consume any cloud service across private, public, or hybrid cloud environments. Leverage on new technologies like software-defined networks and wide area networks that help you secure your apps and data. Enable your workforce to work anywhere that will enable you to deliver a secure, consistent, personalized user experience on any device. And lastly, remember to have a security service at the core of your strategy that will help you embed security into every workload, workspace, and networks. Again, thank you for your time, and I open the floor for any questions from everybody here. Any questions?
Hi, Sir Raul.
Yep.
Actually, we have one question from Miss Joy Alguso from PEZA.
Mm-hmm.
Philippine government, please name some.
Sorry, ma'am, can you repeat the question?
It's can you name some Philippine government? I don't know what it's in the Q&A button,
Q&A button.
sir.
Philippine government, please name some. I mean, use cases or sovereign clouds. Uh, can you elaborate the question, Ma'am Joy?
Sir Raul, as per Miss Joy, that was for the last speaker. I guess that's for you,
Ah,
goodbye.
okay, okay. Noted. So any questions on anyone on the floor on how to get and leverage on experts on how you can achieve measurable outcomes and achieve speed time to value. So these are the five tenets that you should remember uh, in your multi-cloud transformation is app modernization, develop, modernize, and wrap apps on any cloud, and always plan, build, run, and consume any cloud service in a multi-cloud fashion, because you will never know one of the big hyperscalers will fail today. As you know, I think this week or last week, one of the big uh, hyperscalers suffered a major failure in one of their um, Northeast region. Um, and third is take advantage of virtual cloud networking, create a software-defined networks, and leverage on software-defined architecture. And fourth is deliver a secure, consistent, personalized user experience on any device, anywhere. Any more questions from the floor that um, I think the last slide here is really critical and very important for every organization that is embarking on a multi-cloud strategy.
True, true.
I'll be happy to share my experience in um, having to work in architecture and enterprise architecture over the 21 years of my experience.